Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
We're certain that Jody is a she.
Well, as soon as I said that, I started to doubt myself. So I don't know. I'll check that out.
Might have been the first thing we got wrong on the morning drive today, Chuck.
I think we've been pretty pristine so far. pretty pristine. We'll have high school fan zone tonight at 6, Friendship, Lubbock Cooper, and Liberty. And then we'll have Astro Baseball as they take on the Royals again tonight, finish up that series. And then they start a 4-game series tomorrow, the Astros and the Rangers do, in Arlington. We'll have the Rangers and the Rockies tonight at 6:30 for the broadcast time. First pitch about 7:05 tonight. Lubbock Cooper softball tomorrow, right? We'll have the softball game on tomorrow.
Softball versus Grapevine tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and then we'll have Lubbock Cooper baseball tomorrow versus Argyle. From Abilene Christian at 7:30. The softball game will be on 100.7 The Score at 6, and then the baseball game will be on Young Country 93.1. I think I said that wrong earlier, so that's the first ding for the day. I know.
Thought we were going to pitch a shutout.
couldn't get through clean. No, we couldn't get through clean. All right, I think. Really shocking news coming down the pike yesterday from the Commissioner of Baseball to declare that once you're dead, basically you have no more sins. So you can be reinstated and eligible to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, regardless of what you've done. If you've been put on the baseball list that restricts you from being eligible to be an active part of baseball. In so many ways, this makes sense, but I just wanted to get your initial reaction to the possibility that Pete Rose now is going to be elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and Shoeless Joe Jackson, and potentially others as well.
Just to be completely honest with you, I've kind of bounced around in my lifetime of my belief in what should happen or shouldn't happen in this whole deal. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of at the point where, and for the most part, I believed that because I felt like for a long time that Pete didn't bet on his team to lose, that I felt like he should be allowed to be in the Hall of Fame. I now am of the belief that anything that comes out of his mouth or came out of his mouth while he was alive can't be trusted. And so I am not adamantly opposed to him being put in the Hall of Fame. I just don't care. I think he's become a joke. I don't think he's thought of as the great player that he was now. I think he's thought of as a shady individual. He was an awesome player, loved the way he played the game. And that's why I don't mind him being in the Hall of Fame. But put him in the Hall of Fame, put his plaque up there, and list all of his great accomplishments and list his sins too. So put him in. That's fine. I'm past the point where I care, really, to be honest with you, because I think he's become such a. I mean, he finished his life out showing that he was a shady individual, and so it just doesn't. I used to want him badly to be put in the Hall of Fame. Now I just don't care.
Okay. I too have been conflicted with this. I've bounced back and forth. He was a player during the heyday of my baseball fandom where I'm following it all the time. Now, truth be told, because of how baseball was televised in those days, in the 70s and the 80s, didn't get to see him play a whole lot, but obviously had a great deal of respect for the way that he hustled. I mean, you heard about Charlie Hustle, and then you were, as a kid, taught to to be a hustler, because he was a guy that didn't necessarily, when he came up, had the greatest of talent. I mean, he was obviously a very good baseball player, but the one thing that he had is he had a lot of grit and he had a lot of desire, and he just worked harder than everybody else. So at least that was the perception. I liked those teams from the Cincinnati Reds. I did not like him when he played for the Phillies. Truth be told, probably my favorite Royals team was the 1980 Royals. I saw a ton of games. They made it to the World Series for the first time ever. They lost to Pete Rose in the Phillies. There were a number of plays that could have gone either way, and the ball just didn't bounce the way that the Royals needed it to bounce. And the Phillies were the better team. They had the better reliever, and Tim McCarver, blah, blah, blah. But I remember a play from that World Series where Pete Rose spiked. He caught a ball in foul territory right in front of the Royals dugout along the first base line and spiked the ball, and I just remember hating him for that. And I can still see that play in my head. But all that having been said, I believe that he bet on baseball and bet on other teams and used insider information for that. I too don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. It was a clown show when I saw him in Vegas. We've all seen him in Vegas. If you've been to Vegas at all, you'd go through Caesars and you'd see Pete selling, autographed baseballs. The mere fact that he didn't fess up, that he deny, really bothered me. I mean, if he'd have come clean almost immediately and said, I bet on baseball, I'm sorry. I mean, we're a country of forgiveness, a country of second chances. But he just never made you want to root for him to get a second chance because he just couldn't tell the truth.
His ego got in the way of him being honest.
Yeah, and he's a despicable human being with some of the things, if you want to read about some of his other transactions that he did. All that having been said, there's no question he's a Hall of Fame baseball player, and the Hall of Fame is littered with people that did bad things, including Ty Cobb. I just was shocked at when it came down, and I think there's a reason why it came down, and I think the commissioner got bullied, and I hate it because I think the commissioner made a decision that, based on business and the business of baseball and for the good of baseball. And he'll never come out and admit this, but I think that the president of the United States bullied the commissioner of baseball to do this, or there would be some ramifications against baseball that you couldn't. Oh, I'm not the only one that believes this.
Wow, this is deep.
Yeah, this is really deep. This goes into the business of baseball and the business of television in the future and streaming and all that kind of stuff and the antitrust exemption. I think all that's tied together, and I don't like it. I'm not like hating it, but.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Today is May the 14th, 2025. And with this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
Yeah, 1920. Washington Senator Walter Johnson wins his 300th game, this one versus Detroit. 1967, New York Yankee Mickey Mantle hits career home run number 500 off of Baltimore Oriole Stu Miller.
Stu Miller, who would later be a pitching coach, makes sense. He was a pitcher, like for I think several different teams. And I think a lot of people at that point in time thought that Mickey Mantle was going to catch Babe Ruth, that he'd be the one. But he got too many injuries.
A little hard on his body and other areas too.
Absolutely, no question. Yeah, but I mean,
this would be a good time for you to use that term, Chuck.
He overserved himself.
No, not that one.
Okay,
you were close though.
Which one?
Sorry about you.
Sorry about you.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for Mantle was he tore up his knee on a sprinkler head, and it was never really the same after that.
1981. In the 35th NBA championship, Boston Celtics beat the Houston Rockets 4-2. 1994, Dave Winfield passes Frank Robinson for 12th all-time on the RBI list with 1,617.
Let's go, Big Dave.
Wow.
And in 2022, The number 9 Texas Tech Red Raiders clinched its series against number 3 Oklahoma State with a 9-3 win. It's the in the 5th, Owen Washburn provided the grand slam that helped tally a 7-run inning for the Red Raiders. The night before, Cole Stillwell launched a grand slam that was part of a 5-run 4th. Friday slam flipped the lead. Saturdays broke a 1-1 tie. What they both did was put Texas Tech in front for good in the visitors' ballpark.
Nice.
Let's go.
It is National Buttermilk Biscuit Day.
Yeah.
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 I'm not a fan of buttermilk.
As a lone substance, no. As an ingredient in almost anything you put it in, yes. Buttermilk pancakes, biscuits.
I just don't want to taste.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do people drink it?
My grandfather used to have a glass of buttermilk every day.
Wow.
Is it super thick?
It was interesting.
It's like drinking a Frosty?
There's a level of that, yeah.
He put anything in his buttermilk with it to kind of help it go down? No?
Had a glass of buttermilk every day with dinner.
Okay. You do you, Grandpa McGuire.
Mark Zuckerberg, 41. Kate Blanchett is 56. George Lucas, 81. Clay Matthews, 39. Frank Gore, 42. Tony Perez, 83. And El Presidente Dennis Martinez is 70. And on this day, 1973, Skylab, America's first space station, is successfully launched into orbit around the Earth. I don't know that we can really say successfully. It got up there. Mm-hmm. Once they got there, 11 days later, U.S. astronauts got on board, had to make some significant changes. One of the solar panels didn't deploy all the way, so they had to do some fixing there. The cooling system didn't work correctly, so they had to put a big tarp over the outside. Long story short, they got it up and running and then spent 28 days in orbit above the space station. And that is this day in sports history.
All right, that means it's time for your lucky local winning word, your chance to get qualified to win $500, just like Jody Sullivan did yesterday, and like Donna Martinez did last Thursday, and like you could do this coming Thursday, which is the day after tomorrow. All you have to do to qualify is go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com. And remember, the more times you enter, the more chances you have to win. So that's why it's important to do it at this point in time, or at 8:45 this morning, or at 4:45 this afternoon during Tech Talk. Okay, it's a local cash contest giveaway totaling $10,000 with the Home Zone, helping you make your house a home, and Double T 97.3. So go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com and enter Braves this morning. Braves. We're back to baseball. Braves. 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 Braves, like the Atlanta Braves. Just don't put Atlanta in. It's Braves. Braves. All right. A couple things here from the...
There's one thing that Jeff said that I wondered about with you, Chuck. He said that got up there, but he doesn't know how successful it was. Is that how you kind of describe your dunk attempts?
Yes. It's how I describe my shot attempts.
It got up there, just don't know how successful it was.
You just don't know how successful it was.
Yeah, that sounds like me with an overhead in tennis. I'm
going to get back into my free throw shooting. I want to really improve on that between now and the start of basketball season.
Okay.
I want to be able to my shot. It's amazing how quickly your shot goes away from you when you don't use it in like a 30 to 40 year time period. Okay.
That's a long time.
I used to, like when I was a single guy, I shoot a lot of free throws. I'd go to the local, park or elementary school and just shoot free throws, shoot shots, get them up. Haven't done that in quite some time. Thursday, the day after tomorrow, I'm confused. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, tomorrow is Thursday. So tomorrow somebody's going to win.
It's good.
Yeah, because today's Wednesday. Robert, the Yankee fan, with regard to Mickey Mantle, he had a bad influence named Alfred Billy Martin. Yeah, he sure did.
Alfred Billy Martin.
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah. So there you go. 6:52 this morning here on the Morning Drive. I'm interested in everyone's take on Pete Rose in him being reinstated by baseball. Robert says this: "It's over. Forgive and forget." Robert, I might be a forgiver, but I'm not a forgetter all the time. I mean, I try to be. If I tell somebody it's over, then it's over. If I've got some kind of an issue, there's still a couple of people in this town that I have an axe to grind with. That if they were on fire, that they would stay on fire. But I'm sure that there's probably some people out there that feel that way about me as well.
In order for you to forgive someone, they have to acknowledge / admit that they have done something wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
And Pete Rose has never done that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's never come clean. And because of that, that would be, it would be hard for Chuck to apologize or for me to forgive Chuck for stepping on my shoe if he says he didn't step on my shoe.
Right.
Well, how can I forgive him? Because he says he didn't do it.
Yeah.
So that would be dumb.
Yeah.
So if Pete Rose wants people to forgive and forget, he would have had to have admitted, here's all the things that I did wrong. Okay, or here's at least some of them.
Right.
And he did it in a very cocky and arrogant way.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different than what's going on with Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. If those two just came clean,
right, and
were not so cocky and arrogant about things, especially Clemens with his arrogance about it, they would be put in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. But because they won't do it, I think these, and don't even get us going on the baseball writers. I think we all agree on those guys are a bunch of toolboxes. But anyway, I just don't think those guys are getting in because they never just came clean.
I mean, Pete Rose, you'll hear from people that'll say, well, he wrote a letter asking for, admitting to the commissioner. Yeah, but it was way, way, way after the fact.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, was it really genuine?
And he was telling after the fact, hey, I did this, but I didn't do this. But then we find out that was a lie.
Yes.
That he was doing those things. And that's why you just can't trust him.
All right, just to be clear, the secret word today is Braves. Just Braves. Okay? Braves.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. So going back to this Pete Rose deal with Rose being reinstated, along with shoeless Joe Jackson and a number of others from the Black Sox of 1919 that threw the World Series. One of the things that stands out to me is that it's been so long since Rose played or was even a factor. I mean, it's been almost 40 years. Mm-hmm. So in order for you to really kind of have any kind of memory of him as a player, you've got to be close to 50 or more years old. Like, I don't know what kind of recollection you have for Rose as a player. It was probably more the end of his career.
The end of his career.
Yeah. Not the height of his career when he was fantastic, whether it was for the Phillies or the Reds. And he played a year for the Montreal Expos, too, after he left the Phillies, and then went back to the Reds and then became a player manager for them. So it's understandable why maybe there's... I didn't know what kind of, if there would be any outrage, plus or minus, on this. It doesn't seem to be a whole lot of reaction. If you have an opinion on this, I'm really curious. Bullfighter says to me, lots of hate in Chuck's heart today. You have to understand what Pete Rose did when he did it and when he found out, because he was a guy that everybody admired. I mean, because we didn't have social media in those days, and we didn't have like 24/7 coverage of sports in those days, you didn't know what kind of, quote, guy he was. You just saw him for what he was on the field. And so coaches would use him as an example of, hey, here's a guy that didn't have the greatest, God-given ability, but he had desire, he had heart, he had want to I mean, they, got the label of Charlie Hustle, and
I don't know that you would say he didn't have great God-given ability, the ability to hit a baseball. Now, he wasn't super fast, he wasn't super tall.
Maybe that's unfair to say.
His God-given ability to hit baseballs is, that's
sure.
Hitting a baseball is not the easiest thing in sports.
No, it's not. You're right.
He could absolutely do it.
Yeah, you're right on that. I guess my point is that we didn't know what we didn't know about him. Okay, so he was put upon a pedestal maybe that he shouldn't have deserved, but at any rate, you did. So and then there's this. It's like, why now? Well, here's what I believe is the why now. The why now is because the president was going to pardon him and others, and I think that the commissioner was fearful that by not acting first, that he would be pressured publicly and politically to make a decision that would make it look like that he kowtowed. And so as a result, I think he used the old best interest of baseball thing in his head and said, best interest of baseball is for me to, reinstate Pete Rose to the eligible list. Because then what's going to happen is he still has to get through the Baseball Hall of Fame and for lack of a better term, the Veterans Committee. And there's going to be 16 guys that will vote for him when he's eligible to vote, which I think is going to be December of 27. And so 12 of those 16 will still have to say yes to Pete Rose.
They didn't put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
They just made him eligible.
So here's why there's political pressure on the commissioner of baseball, because baseball still enjoys the antitrust exemption, which they've had since 1922, and this exemption was established by the Supreme Court. And what it allows them to do, among other things, is they get to engage in practices that normally would be considered anti-competitive with normal antitrust law, such as negotiating television rights, coordinating schedules, sharing revenue. It also allows Major League Baseball to control the minor league system and mandate that clubs provide benefits to minor league players. The exemption has also been criticized for allowing Major League Baseball to exploit players and maintain a system where players aren't fully compensated for their value. And so this has been something that they have enjoyed for a long, long time. And when they're trying to get this new, and for lack of a better term, streaming service, where it's basically you can pay for just that, like ESPN just came out with this yesterday. It's a cable plan that basically allows people to just subscribe to ESPN for $30 a month, and it's all bundled together with other things. And Major League Baseball wants to do that as well, because they've just opted out of their deal with ESPN for the last 3 years of that contract, and there's some talk about how that's going to work going forward, and how it's going to work for the individual Major League Baseball teams. So I'm sure the commissioner was reminded of all those things in his meeting with the president back in April. So I think there's some of that, and I think there's also some of the fact that that he just felt like it was time, because Rose, his daughter, and his attorney had appealed to him. But I disagree with this comment here. Chucky had the fortitude to admit he did it. He took his punishment. Look at the cheaters in the steroid era who to this day deny any wrongdoing. It took Rose a long time, and I don't believe that he was ever genuine in his apology to baseball. He never stood in front of the camera and said, "I, Pete Rose, bet on baseball and bet for and against other teams. I use my knowledge to do this." I mean, he never ever did that. So he's dead. What does it matter? Well, here's the deal, guys. I mean, if you're under the age of 50, you just don't remember the damage that he did and the shock that he caused across Major League Baseball when he was outed for what he did. I'm not saying I'm against what the commissioner did, because I'm conflicted. I could go either way. On this. I'm glad that they didn't do it while he was still alive. because I don't think he ever showed contrition.
It sure doesn't sound like you're conflicted.
Well, I am conflicted. But I'm just my point is I'm just very suspicious as to why now, and I hate the fact that the commissioner was bullied into doing this, because that's what I believe. I believe that the commissioner was bullied into making this decision. Because why now?
Yeah, I guess here's one of the things that I love about you, Chuck, is you have interest in so many things, right? And you have a passion and you have an opinion about so many things. And I am to the point with the Pete Rose thing where I just don't care.
I understand.
Yeah, it's just like he's clearly worthy of being in there for what he did as a player. Mm-hmm. If they decide to put him in, I'm fine with that. Put him in there, but put him in with list all of his accomplishments and list all of his sins. Tell the Pete Rose story. He's a part of the history of baseball. Mm-hmm. Tell the story. Heck, give him his own little cubby. I don't care. I mean, because he's such a major part of baseball history,
no doubt,
and the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm totally fine with that. Now, if the president bullied, this word that you use, bullied the commissioner into it, I don't care. It's just, I mean...
See, that bothers me.
How does it affect you?
It doesn't, but it just bothers me. It bothers me when people use power to the point where they force somebody to make a decision in their heart of hearts that they would not make. Because I feel like that Rob Manfred would have never, ever reinstated Pete Rose. Never. Never in a million years. Because he said that before. And all of a sudden he's had to have this change of heart because I feel like that things were going to be twisted against him in Major League Baseball to the point where the owners felt pressure and he felt pressure. And a give on this was, well, before the president pardons Pete Rose, which doesn't really mean anything, pardon him for his tax evasion, then there would be all this public pressure on baseball to do it, and then it would just look like that they kowtowed. So I admire the commissioner for making a decision in the best interest of baseball, but I hate why and how he did it.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Well, with the latest news breaking just then right there in front of me, breaking to me, I'm going to change my question of the day. Should we hold the championship parade on Friday or Saturday after the national championship game of college football? Now that we have our kicker punter combo. That's the question of the day. Should it be Friday night or Saturday afternoon?
No, I think Saturday, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. early.
Oh, maybe 11 a.m.
Don't we want to tailgate beforehand?
11 a.m.
Don't you think we're going to be hungover from Friday night?
11 a.m. Well, the national championship game will be on Monday.
You think they're only going to be drunk Monday night?
Yeah.
I plan on still drinking.
Yes.
Through Friday. So
let's see. I need to make it so it's convenient for me too, because I'm worried.
Rule number 1.
Rule number 4. But
yeah, nobody believes that, Chuck.
But I mean, considering where the Lady Raiders going to be that afternoon, that Saturday, we're going to be here
with the football team.
We're going to be here in Provo, or Sheboygan or someplace like that.
You do realize that if when the Red Raider football team wins the national championship, that there won't be anybody that's worried about where the Lady Raiders are.
Except me.
Gus and I have called baseball games in the middle of a Final Four game, and we just fully understand nobody is listening to us.
Right, no, I got you.
This year it was during the loss to Florida, and we joked that we could,
I got it.
We could have said anything we wanted on the radio and nobody would have heard it.
No, I understand that. I understand
So I don't think they're going to make a change.
I was just worried about me. I'm just worried. I want to be at the parade too.
When is it not about you, Chuck?
Well, if you don't put yourself, if you don't care about yourself, then nobody else will.
That's good. That's good.
Right?
Well, we care about you.
I don't know. I don't think everybody gives a flip about me, which is.
You care.
I'm just
now we're therapists, Jeff. Here we go.
kind of astounded by the fact that people are more angry with me than at the commissioner for reinstating Pete Rose, or Pete Rose for being the scoundrel that he was, even though he was a hell of a baseball player and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But nope. We're going to attack Chuck today. That's fun.
I just don't find the need to feel angry about any of it.
I know. I'm a little. I thought this would be like something like people would be like have an opinion one way or the other. I thought you would. I thought
it's been going on for so long.
I know.
It's like
people
a dog barking into the wind.
I guess.
Like Pete in the Hall of Fame. It's like, who cares?
I know.
Just put him in the Hall of Fame so we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Again, I'm somewhat conflicted by it, but I'm bothered by how it was done.
How you think it was done?
By how I think it was done.
Yeah.
All right. Enough with the elephant music. I get so tired of that commercial. The damn dog's in the cage, and it goes on and on and on and on. 2.5 minutes. Just you see dog after dog after dog. Okay, finally somebody just either release them or give them to all the other people. And you got the elephants and their tusks, and it's just like a 3-minute commercial, for God's sake.
When was the last time you saw the elephant commercial?
I don't know, but I mean, I think of elephants and the dogs when I see this. You know, the elephants with their poor tusks. You know, they got one of them like broken off because some, Cajun guy's gone down there and thought it'd be good for his, fireplace mantle.
That's good to have at your tailgate before the LSU football games, right?
Some Neanderthal.
Okay,
what's your question?
It was the best question of the day segment ever. All right, I want you to... this is just kind of an off-the-wall question. I want you to take your Texas Tech and Kansas bias out of this.
Okay.
I want... So, two answers here.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most likable fan base in the Big 12?
Mm-hmm.
And what is the most hateable fan base in the Big 12? So I feel like we can't answer TCU or Baylor just because there are rivals in this conference.
Yeah, I don't care for.
You should probably lay off K-State.
Yeah, no, that's fair because,
I mean, the K-State people are good people. It's the school we hate.
Some of them.
It's losing their football team that we hate. While Chuck thinks about his answer, my immediate answer: they're both from the same dang state. Most likable BYU, most hated Utah. When it comes to their fan base. I mean, BYU brings you ice cream at the football game if you go. You can't hate people that bring you ice cream. It's like a rule. And Utah came in with a snobby attitude and did what they did this past football season. They thought they were going to run this conference and made comments that, I guess we're going to join the Big 12 now. Well, yeah, and then you got your tail kicked.
They haven't been good in any sports that matter. I mean, because they were bad in basketball and baseball, too. Women's basketball, they were a tournament team, right? They make the tournament, Chuck?
Who?
Utah.
The Elephant Tusks.
Utah. Did Utah make the women's tournament?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. I thought they did.
Maybe. Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right. They did.
You were crowing over that when the Lady Raiders beat them in the Big 12 tournament.
I was crowing over that. Yeah, you're right. They did.
Yep.
Okay, so you're probably going to hate me for saying this, but
hate is a strong word, Chuck.
Dislike me. I have generally found in all my trips to Stillwater, the Oklahoma State people very genuinely friendly.
Okay.
The BYU people I find annoying, okay? Because they're overly friendly. Welcome to the Marriott Center. 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 Would you like a root beer? 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 Did you find everything okay? I mean, just like incredibly annoying.
I would love a root beer. Thank you for offering.
They are littered with root beer barrels in Provo, Jamie. You will not be able to swing a dead cat without running into a root beer barrel.
And they have free popcorn?
Iowa State as well. The most annoying? Did you say the most annoying too?
You said BYU was your most annoying.
Dislikable, hateable, whatever you want.
Well, I mean, it's a default for me on the K-State, but I did find BYU annoying. I did find them annoying.
Jamie?
West Virginia is my most hateable, and I'm sticking with, at this point, still feeling like BYU is the most likable fan base in our conference. Besides us, of course.
Yeah.
We're fantastic people.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Morning Drive, time for hour number 3 to begin. Jamie, Jeff, and I come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. It's been active. It's been active today. I'm going to read a bunch of them here and just let everybody chuckle, so to speak. So it's open to you if you want to participate as well. I'd be down with this, but I do have lunch plans today. Somebody get Chuck a Coors Light and a rack of ribs.
I mean, hell, if you're handing them out.
I'm having one right now. If it's a cold Coors Light and a rack of ribs that are hot, bring it on.
I'll take cold ribs and a warm Coors Light. If you're offered, I'll take them.
That sounds miserable.
Sounds fantastic.
What was it that one time that you said that was so funny when you said he was talking about a certain animal, and you're like, I'll take a something right now. Wasn't like a monkey or a zebra.
Penguin.
Penguin. I'll take some penguin right now or something. Yes, it was penguin.
I'd like a penguin right now.
I'd like a penguin right now. Racer 26 writes in this morning, the Pete Rose deal has been going on for so long. Most of us are numb to it. At this point, does it really matter if he's in or out?
Yeah, and that's kind of where I am with. I'm right there with Racer 26.
I understand that. It's just okay. So with that having been said, should all the governors of all the states for all the dead criminals? Hey, you're dead. Doesn't matter anymore. Guess what? We're gonna wipe you clean. All you murderers, rapists, bank robbers. You're dead. Doesn't matter anymore. We're gonna give you a pass.
Apples, meat, pickles.
Completely with
totally not the same.
Okay, probably not, but just an absurd analogy. I agree. By the way, at lunch on Sunday or dinner on Sunday, I accidentally dropped some pickle juice on daughter number one's cell phone, and she was not happy with me. Apparently not a pickle fan. Meanwhile, her number one son, the young phenom, can't eat enough pickles. Okay, the little phenom doesn't like pickles. Me, I'm a big fan of pickles, but she was just like, "Oh my God!" It reminded me of you. Of like, it was one drop of pickle juice.
Okay,
yeah, but it's not like you can put it in the sink with soap and water and
it was one drop.
I wonder how long it's going to take before the phone stops smelling like pickle juice.
I don't know, but it was one drop.
It
was barely a drop.
I agree with Jamie. Again, it's going to smell. It's going to smell.
Yeah.
I want to know how you accidentally spill pickle juice
on a
phone at the dinner table.
Well, we were outside. We were outside eating.
Okay, I want to know how you.
I think I grabbed a pickle, and her phone was right there, and it just kind of dripped on it.
Then that's on her.
But I reached over.
Put the phone in your pocket.
I reached over. I completely agree with Chuck on Pete Rose. He's dead. He doesn't do anything but make the family happy. And even then, if I was the family, I think I would be upset if they didn't do it before now. 2, death doesn't cure all ills. Bucky, speaking of get off my lawn, can leaf blower be a Kentucky Derby horse name next year on the show? That's up to Clint.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah. And again, for all you people that blow leaves just down the street, okay, all you're doing is just blowing it into somebody else's yard, okay? Blowing your grass clippings into the street. The people that do this on university all the freaking time. It just drives me crazy to see people just blow it down the street, blow it down to Bob's yard, and then Bob will blow it to Sam's yard, and then Sam will blow it to George's yard, and George will blow it to Melinda's yard, and then Melinda will blow it to Margaret's yard, and Margaret will blow it into, Philip's
yard.
Yeah, but
then it gets into Mike's yard, and Mike's a jerk, so we're okay with that.
Chuck has a great day because he's irritated. I think I'm pretty good. I've lost all count of all the things.
It's a great day to be irritated.
I've lost count of all the things that irritate Chuck today. Take a deep breath, Chuck. It'll be okay. Chuck being the ultimate get off my lawn guy this morning. Chuck is on one today who urinated in Chuck's Wheaties today. I don't care for Wheaties.
One of the worst cereals ever.
Yeah, ever. Where did Swing a Dead Cat come from? Mom or Dad? I don't know. I've just heard it all the time.
I know. You are so adamant about some things that are not politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
That one feels very unpolitically correct to me that you use. And also screaming like a banshee.
Banshee.
Or doing whatever. Yelling or running out there like a banshee. That also seems pretty non-politically correct to me.
Chuck must have received his property tax appraisal in the mail yesterday. It's been a while since I've seen him this fired up. Making valid points, though. That was 26 minutes ago. Chuck, you're acting like Rose stole your lunch money or your innocence. I remember his playing days, and as an Astro fan, I couldn't stand him. I could care less about this. Is that how it goes? I could care less or couldn't care less?
Couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less.
Yes.
If you could care less, that means you care.
Yeah.
You care.
Syntax Hank, it's couldn't care less about this. Let it go.
He could have done the speak to text and it got it wrong.
Yeah. Well, God bless Chuck.
Well, if you don't know yourself, if you have to question it, please don't call him out for it. That seems a little rich.
I asked Jeff for clarification. I phoned a friend. Rule number 1, JL. Rule number 1 strikes again. Time for an Laura.
Yeah.
God bless Chuck. You're fired up about the dog commercials. Think how we feel about this same annoying PSAs all throughout the day. I agree. I do my best to sell commercials to eliminate them every single day. If more of you would buy more of them, then I wouldn't have to worry about it. Okay?
Can I hit the music? Do I need to hit it again?
Oh, yeah. This was 28 minutes ago. Oh, yeah. This is a classic Chuck rant. I thought Pete Rose said if he wasn't in before he died, he didn't want to be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, then I hope when the 16 people decide to elect him, that more than 4 say no.
Yeah, that's the thing you got to remember.
He's not in there yet.
He's not in.
Yeah.
You still have to vote him in, and we'll see if that happens. Who knows with these baseball writers? Who knows? Somebody
give Chuck a Snickers. He sounds hangry. I do not care for Snickers. If you gave me a Snickers, I would not eat a Snickers. I'm a Three Musketeers guy, or a Butterfinger guy.
We've never
or
been.
Crackle. Or
we've never
for all this time, I thought you and I were like twinsies
on Snickers,
and now we're I just realized we're completely different people.
Chuck,
just now, Milky Way. Oh, man.
Milky Way, no, it's got nuts in it. Chuck.
Oh, I thought you said Milky. What did you say?
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers. Yeah, same difference.
Chuck. Nobody who listens every day, including me, Red Raider Charlie, have ever been angry with you, Chuck. Laughed at something you said that was crazy, yes. On dumb things that you say, but never been angry with you, knucklehead. You're fired up. Okay, we said that. Maybe he just waited until Rose was dead. He can't say that because that sounds tacky. But, and then Bobby Hot Dogs, you say this was the text of the day. Sounds like an excessively sweaty man blew grass clippings into Chuck's yard last night. Save some salt for the French fries. No. Haven't seen the sweaty guy because I've been working out at night, so it's been a lot easier on my heart.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.